Another very useful method in array is the map method. It's very similar to filter, but just the way filter is used to narrow down the list of array and make a new array out of it, the map method actually takes our original array and then creates a new array out of it. But in this case, it will make the new array look like whatever we want it to look like. So a practical example could be, let's say we get a list of these items and the names are actually in Pascal case, I think, right? So it's got underscores and capitalizations and stuff like that. And that's not a good thing or good convention in JavaScript. So let's say your boss comes in and he says, hey, we are doing an importing project. We are importing data or migrating data from one service or to another. Let's say you are part of a big company and they're doing acquisitions and acquiring company, merging companies, and the new company wants to take the old data and manipulate it in a different way. So that's a project that that's a realistic project. So let's say if you want to modify the item into a different structure. So map would be a good thing to use. Map, by the way, is used heavily in React.js as well. So if you go to I Love Coding React course, you'll see that in practice as well. So this is a good use case to talk about, which is the migration process, let's say. So you're going to simply say cars.map, and again, it's going to run a callback function. Same deal. The only difference is that what these methods do, but the process is the same. As usual, it gets an item and this map spits out a new array. So I'm going to capture that in, let's say, an array or processed or cleaned up, cleaned up data. All right, let's say. So it's going to run through, and we also need to return each item that we want to push to this new array. So this is going to be a new array. So let's say we don't like this way of the object, right? We don't like this structure. So we can say, okay, we don't like it. We can create our new one. So I'm going to say name, and the name should have item.name like such. So grab the value of that name and assign it to this particular key and spit out this object, push this object over here. So now if I do this, save, refresh, oops, I didn't console.log it. So I should just console.log this over here. Save, refresh. And I still get 406 items because I'm not doing filtration, I'm just modifying the object. And you see, if I expand, you see this is no longer the same array. It looks different. It looks like this. It's got a name like this and the value. And let's say if I want more data inside, I can simply do that. I can say origin or place of origin. Let's say if our company wants normalization of data and the data should be looking in a certain way. All right, and then I can do horsepower or miles per gallon, let's say. So I can say MPG, and that should be item dot miles per gallon. Save, refresh, and if I expand, you see our data is in the format I want it in. Now, one thing you may be asking is, why is this sorting done in this way? And that is the internal workings of JavaScript on which ones show up on top and which ones show up on the bottom. So that's not something under our control on that particular sorting order. But maps are used heavily, practice around with it, and actually more importantly, not more importantly, but equally importantly, go through all of these in the documentation. I cannot go through all of them for you, but you need to do your due diligence, play around with this, because this becomes very important in your practical life and also in interview questions. So the small variations I've already discussed, find is slightly different than map, map is slightly different than filter. So all of these are slightly different than each other. Talk to you in the next lesson.